12 years ago, I had just started my sports massage therapy business, and today I sell online courses in this mobility movement niche for 3 million euros per year. And here's the top 5 learnings I've condensed from the 12 years, and 2 of these I bet you cannot see on other people's YouTube channels. Hello, my name is Joel Hakala. I'm a Finnish online entrepreneur, and the number one thing is the right people. Because when I look back to 12 years, every time I have found a right person to do business with, a right person to help me, it has always led to growth. Example, I currently have a business partner. He deals with like the paid advertising, like more sales and marketing, more the technical parts of it. And I couldn't be doing this level business if I wouldn't have that co-founder. He does the things that I don't like doing. His brain works differently, he's different kind of personality. I'm a creative, a little bit chaotic, but he has more simplistic, practical. Many times he's like, let's just do that one thing for next. And without that business partner, I would be all over the place, jumping from one thing to another, and I would have never gotten from that smaller business really to a bigger business. Other thing is that we have partners who create content for us. An example, our number one best-selling course is not built by ourselves, but by our partners. So if we wouldn't have met them, we wouldn't have one of our best-selling product we currently have. So it's really great to think through the lens of like, let's say you have a goal where you want to go in your business or what you want to build, and ask yourself like, okay, what is the one person who would like absolutely make this much easier, would help me grow there much faster. Start the process of clarifying that, so it starts to click little by little. When you meet people, you start to like think through like, could this be the person? It shifts the whole lens. And this is example something I nowadays do. It's like when there's a problem I want to solve, when there's something I want to achieve, I'm starting to think through more like, okay, who would I need to meet? What kind of person would be the perfect person to come to this journey with me? And with that person, we would easily achieve this thing or easily solve this bottleneck. One of the earliest things that was really huge for my business was that I found one person who started doing video editing for me. This person was learning to code. We started talking about this problem, we have, and he was like, he could take a look if he could solve that problem. And he could. He's really good in coding. And that was a huge driver for our sales, because now we were able to offer people an easy way to pay in a way where the conversion rate was higher, it was easy to order, and it all came down because I just stumbled upon the right person. I wasn't even looking to solve that problem at that time, but things just clicked. So people, whatever problem you have, there's somewhere that one person who can solve it for you. Second one, exposing assumptions. At one point in our business, we started creating online courses with the help of other wellness entrepreneurs or wellness coaches. And we had an assumption that, okay, they are coaches in the topic, they have helped people, of course, they have the knowledge, so let's just put it in the videos. But then when we started that process, we realized, oh yeah, they have helped people on one-on-one, but now filming videos is a different thing. And then later on, we realized with my business partner that, okay, here we made an assumption, but we didn't actually think through what are all the things that it takes to be able to produce those videos, and how much example support we need to be doing, and how much effort it takes from us to be helped with all the parts. We could have so easily noticed this beforehand. If we would have asked from ourselves, like, what are our assumptions that we are building this on? We could have mapped those assumptions out, talked through like, okay, is this true? How could we test this thing out? Then we could have run a small test to expose those assumptions that we didn't even necessarily know that we have. The best thing with this is like, this is a free thing. All you need is maybe like pen and paper, little bit time, just spend time thinking about this. Now with AI tools, you can chat with the AI, ask for help, and this can save you months of wasted work or a lot of money instead of you starting some business thing or new marketing campaign or something. that won't work, and then later you realize like there was that one assumption I made and I didn't realize it, and that's why the thing was already dead before I even started it, exposed to assumptions. Third one, time in business matters more than what you actually do. Might be a controversial take, but in this hustle culture, you always hear like, oh, you have to put in the work hours, you have to work hard, you need to take action. Yeah, there's some truth to that. But when I look back my 12-year entrepreneur journey, it's not like I have been working super hard or anything. There has been times or phases when I have been working hard. Mostly it is that I've been doing that for 12 years. I try to go to a gym for 12 years, learn more about it, and with some regularity, you will be in quite good shape. There has been times in my business journey where I haven't been really actively working. I've been maybe focusing on a lot of like some side projects or things that weren't really taking my like main business forward. But I've been at it for over 12 years. I've been doing it, building email lists, learning copywriting, finding the right people around me, and all these are like assets and pieces that enable that success. It takes time to build that email list. Even if someone starting from scratch would have a damn good ads, damn good sales page, damn good product and everything, it would take years for them to build as big email list and audience than we have. There's certain parts of the process that you cannot rush. Number 4, this is controversial one. You should figure it out yourself. When I started making those stretching guide videos in 2016, I figured it out myself how to do those. I had seen videos on Instagram. I had learned myself from those. I figured out like, okay, I want those videos to be, as compact as possible, not like 5-minute video if I can do it with 1 minute. All those stretches and movement need to be really well explained, not just showing like, hey, do this kind of stretching, but explaining what's happening and why and what kind of effect it has in your body. And I made subtitles. At that time, making subtitles was a lot of manual work. Rarely people were doing those things. My videos got really popular really quickly. People really liked them. And then I found all the world about digital marketing, whatnot. I started to watch all kind of videos about like copywriting and how to make ads and sales pages and and I got all confused up with all kind of like marketing tactics and strategies and whatnot. And there's this type of way to do this and there's that way to do it. And in hindsight, I'm like, I might have been better by not studying that stuff at all, but using my own brain to figure out how does this work, what is a good video, what's a good sales page, and then maybe sometimes read a book, buy that one copywriting course, go that through, and then take those core things and develop those further. Number 5, you are your business's number 1 enemy. Example, I have a chronic illness. I have had a lot of times when I have been barely able to work. If you lose your health, your business is gone. If your relationship is doing badly, it reflects on everything you do. It's not that complex. But once we start to have our limiting beliefs, or maybe we start to self-sabotage, or we get stuck with something in our mind, that's your number 1 enemy and thing. That's the number 1 blockage. Or it could be really practical, like you get sick or something, you are just like literally unable to work. Quite classical story that many entrepreneurs don't really think about what happens to their own finances if they cannot work. Or if something happens, can your business run without you? Do you have systems? Do you have people? No matter how well your business is doing, you're one catastrophe away from like, that's it. How I view it is like number 1 thing for me, especially with my chronic illness, that they're making sure that, okay, my health is okay or improving, then the motivation. Am I wanting to do this business? Do I feel excited? I'm not necessarily every day excited to work on the business. Sometimes it's just a job and it's totally okay. And if you can turn the frame this way for your business, where you first figure out these things and think about this risk, because this you can have effect. You can see these things. What's your health situation, for example? What's your motivation? What are your internal blockages? By making sure that you are really healthy, your motivation levels are high, you don't have bottlenecks that are not allowing you to put your best work into your business. And once those are there, you're probably gonna be doing a good work. It's just like that hidden invisible foundation It's too simple to understand, but trust me, once you have first time some more serious health issues, or you have something going on in your personal life that is really taking your energy, you're one mistake or one disaster away from going like bankrupt or just quitting, and it might not be the thing you want to do. Wrap up. Imagine this. You find one key person in your business, whether it's employee, business partner, or that key customer. And then you always ask yourself, what are the assumptions I'm about to make? And you clear up those before you make any big decision. Third, you stay on the business, you keep doing that, and you keep getting better at the core things that creates the growth in the business. 4, you don't mess up with all the information out there and all the advice, but you make sure that you think for yourself. And then 5th, you make sure that you won't sabotage yourself, you won't become the obstacle for yourself. Can you not succeed? Can you not get where you want to? 5 really fundamental things. Put this in place and everything else will take care of itself.